The wind screamed through the broken valleys of Calora Prime, slicing through ruined outposts and crumbling steel towers. There were no birds, no insects, just the storm. Commander Elia Vorn sprinted across a shattered walkway, her boots slamming against metal barely holding together. The sky overhead was black with the maelstrom, the storm front that had consumed half the planet. It wasn't just wind or water. This was a sentient storm, a swirling vortex of energy and plasma that shredded cities and swallowed lives. They said it was created when ancient alien technology woke beneath the planet's crust. Elia didn't care. All she knew was that it was killing her people. Behind her, Specialist Ren Drayan followed, his visor cracked and armor scratched from their last skirmish with scavengers. They'd barely escaped. Now they were chasing shadows, searching for the rumored core, an experimental weather stabilizer lost in the wasteland. Their only chance to stop the storm before it swallowed the last human colony on Calora Prime. "You're sure it's still functional?" Ren asked through heavy breaths. "No," Elia admitted, "but it's all we've got." Lightning cracked across the sky, green and violet, setting fire to a ridge far in the distance. The storm's edge rolled like a tidal wave toward them. They reached the entrance to a buried complex. The doors were fused shut. Ren raised his rifle to blast it open. "Wait," Elia said, stepping forward. Her gloved hand brushed the scanner pad. It flickered red, then green. "My clearance still works." The doors hissed open. Inside, it was pitch black except for the emergency lights lining the corridor. The air was stale, cold, but the walls were intact. "This was once a science station," she said, voice low. "Before everything went to hell, my mother worked here." Ren nodded, silently following. He didn't ask questions, he rarely did. But Elia had noticed the way he watched her when he thought she wasn't looking, the way his eyes softened, even in a world as hard as this. They descended into the lower levels. Old terminals blinked to life as they passed, flickering with fragmented logs. "Found something," Ren called. He pointed to a display showing schematics of the core unit, located several kilometers deeper beneath the crust, within a shielded vault. There was an elevator, one ride down. The elevator groaned as they stepped in. "You think this will work?" he asked. Elia didn't answer. She watched the numbers descend. When they reached the bottom, the door opened into a chamber unlike anything above. Clean, preserved, a glowing blue orb sat in the center of the room, surrounded by conduits and alien carvings. The air vibrated with power. "That's it," she whispered. "The core." As they stepped forward, a voice echoed in their heads, deep, ancient, not quite human. "You seek to bind the storm, but balance must be paid." Ren's eyes widened. "Did you hear that?" "Yeah, stay close." The room pulsed as Elia approached the core. A projection appeared, holographic, semi-transparent. It showed the original scientists activating the machine, trying to harness the energy. Then came the failure. The storm was born from their arrogance. "We tried to control nature," Elia murmured. "And we made it angry. Can we fix it?" "I think so, but someone has to interface with the core, merge their neural link to stabilize the field." Ren stepped forward. "Then I'll do it." "No," Elia said. "You don't have the clearance." "Only I can initiate the override." He stared at her. "That thing almost killed you last time. You said the backlash." "I know, but if I don't try, everyone dies." "Then we go together." Elia hesitated, then nodded. They placed their hands on the interface. Pain surged through their bodies, but they held on. Memories flickered, Elia's childhood, Ren's time as a refugee soldier, the moment they first met on a battlefield. Then the storm screamed. The core pulsed brighter and brighter until it exploded in a wave of white light. When Elia opened her eyes, the storm was gone. She stood in the open air, sky blue, clouds soft. The wind was gentle. "Ren," she called. He was beside her. Barely conscious, they were alive. A week later, the colony was re-established. Survivors came out of hiding. The planet began to heal. Scientists began studying the core again, this time with respect. Elia and Ren stood on a ridge overlooking the valley. "We did it," he said. She nodded. "Together." He took her hand. She didn't pull away. Because in a world reborn from chaos, something beautiful had survived with them. Hope. And maybe, just maybe, love.